Anchors up, sails at full. Welcome to the Sloopcast. How you doing today, Kyle?
You know, Jared?
Uh-huh.
Feeling pretty great over here.
Oh, you don't say. What
How
happened?
are you?
New tradition, good tradition.
Wine this time?
Listen, it's a cause for celebration, and also it's mead. So, which is honey wine, I suppose. But it is a cause for celebration. I suppose it is. Kyle, how was your weekend? How was your Thanksgiving? Did everything go okay? Oh, my gifts aren't loading. Sorry, guys.
Overall, this weekend was pretty darn good. But we got a lot to cover.
With all the fun and all the shenanigans, we do have a job, as much as you can call podcasting a job, to do. So
Scarlet and grade.
Jump over into the report card.
Yeah.
I suppose we typically do general vibes for a few minutes first. Other than just good and great and satisfying and removing of a monkey from the back. I mean, general thoughts on the game, Kyle.
I mean, general thoughts. It was, including myself, I was personally just very worried at the start. They got off 3 points with a couple of big plays to get them in the field goal position, and then Ohio State, a couple plays later, gifted them an interception, which then the defense stood their ground again to only let them get a field goal there. So I think a lot of Buckeye fans, including myself, raising my hand here, were very worried. Like, oh no, here we go again. But after that point, after that saying interception, Buckeye settled down, and everything was good afterwards. Then I felt like everything since then, Ohio State was in complete control, absolutely complete in control. And you look at all the stats, you look at all the numbers here. Like, I'll just say it. Whatever. It was just a downright ass kicking, Jared.
Yeah.
In their home field too.
Yeah. Spikes says stopping them after the pick was a sign they were. How many? I'm gonna wait until we're at least 5 minutes in because of weird YouTube rules before I pronounce screwed. Thank you, Spikes. But yeah, the defense really came through. Defense had a bad first drive, which was a thing Ohio State did during the first half of the season a lot. I think we've kind of forgotten about that, where the defense would kind of spot the other team at the first drive. Again, we haven't seen them do that. Really, it was 2 plays. Yeah, kinda. But if you're an Ohio State fan and you had watched Michigan run all over Ohio State for the past couple years, it didn't really feel that way. And losing Jordan Marshall was huge for Michigan. I think that needs to be said. And he did come back and play another drive later. But he wasn't quite all there. And Cudzel's a good back, but he's no Jordan Marshall. So that was obviously a big blow for them. They had a lot of personnel issues. I was going to say injuries, but at least 2 of the guys, I'm not exactly sure. There's not a whole lot of clarity as to why exactly they were missing, but we won't get into that. But yeah, for all of the talk, at least on the Columbus side of Ohio State injuries, Michigan definitely had the worst of the injury lineup. They've been without their starting left tackle for a month, without arguably the best running back through the first 2 months of the season, without, for the first 2 months, Jordan Marshall, who's a very good running back, for a few weeks. And again, he played for a drive in this game. He obviously wasn't obviously wasn't up for it. And I say all of this not to, yes, exactly, Spikes. I say all of this not to like make an excuse for Michigan. I say this to use Spikes' words. It's almost like load management works. Yeah. Ohio State has been killing clock all year. Ohio State has been spreading out the carries among their running backs all year. Ohio State has been doing everything they can to limit their touches for their players, to limit their snaps for their players, which is why what starters was Ohio State missing from this game? From the start of the season to now, what starters didn't play in this game? Due to injury. I know there were personnel changes. Who missed the game due to injury?
Styles played. That was going to be my only concern, was going to be Styles, but he was in there and he played well. He played well.
He played very well.
Game.
0.
Yeah.
Ohio State was missing nobody from week 1 due to injury. So if you're wanting Ohio State to run up the score more, or if you're wanting Ohio State to put up more stats,
I'm going to go into that deeper as when we get to it on our grading.
I mean through the season, not this game, not scores or stats for this game. I mean through the entire season. This is why Ohio State is almost completely, is as healthy as a team can be at the end of a regular season. Because
Ohio
they were
State
putting teams away, because you saw the backups, because they were doing rotation, because they have the depth and the talent to do that rotation effectively.
And you saw that especially in that second half, especially like from halfway in the third quarter till the rest of the game. Like Michigan's defense just looked worn out.
Yeah.
They looked tired. They looked like they were just beaten all game, which they were.
They were.
The offensive line played exceptional throughout the course of the game there.
I think it was Hill. I think it may have been during the course of Ohio State's 20-play drive. It may not have been. But it was definitely late in the game where they got a good jump on a play, and one of their players, I think it was Hill, got like a TFL. Got the running back a yard or two behind the line of scrimmage. And there just was no celebration on their part. And they were worn out. They just sort of got up and got back and, got ready for the next play. They were spent. They were done. It was over. You know what I mean? If you get a big TFL like that, I mean, the game was out of reach at that point as well, obviously, but they were spent, and it was really nice to be on the other side of this, because if you watch that 20-minute drive, that 20-play, what was it, 14-minute drive?
Yeah. Yeah, it
really felt. It was really nice to be on the other side of that, because it really felt like that drive has happened the past few years. But Ohio State was on the ass side of it in the past few years.
I just wish that ended up being a touchdown.
12 minutes, 20 plays.
Yeah. 20 plays, 81 yards, 11:56, which they started the drive with 4:59 left in the third quarter. And then it was 8:10 left in the fourth quarter. So about halfway through in the fourth quarter when they kicked the field goal, then just absolutely that was a man's drive. That was like an army drive. Just absolutely just eating up the clock.
Listen, Ryan Day won't say it, but I'll say it. That's the type of drive that a tough team puts together.
Yeah.
That is a tough team drive.
Should we get into the gradings here?
Let's get into the grading.
All right, game plan, Jared. Game plan. I'll let you start it off.
Offensive game plan, I have no complaints. Obviously it didn't start great. First two throws were an incompletion and an interception. But to the credit of everyone involved, and this might be more of a for the second grade, but I think what they did as far as a game plan was concerned is they just did their game plan. They didn't come into the game with an agenda other than an agenda to win, which I don't think was the case the past couple of years. And it worked. A+.
Yeah, A+, absolutely. Yeah, rough start for the first couple of series there. Learn from those mistakes there, and then since that game there, or since that quarter, since that first half there, or first two drives, like Ohio State just absolutely dominated. Like looking at all of the quarters here, like the second quarter or the first quarter, Michigan had 85 yards. Well, I guess we're talking about the offense here. So Ohio State 85 yards in the first quarter, and then they settled down. 136 yards in the second quarter, 120 yards in the third quarter, and then they just took off the gas and was just wasting clock in the fourth quarter, and they just had 78 yards in the fourth quarter there. And that was by design. And that was by design. They did exactly what Michigan did to them last year, and that was holding on to the ball, like not giving them a chance to try to somehow squeak in another touchdown to make it closer. They said, no, we're just gonna squeeze this clock out. 40 minutes and 1 second.
Yeah.
Is the time of possession for Ohio State to 11:59. So 50.001% of time of possession for Ohio State.
Kyle, this is the first time This is the first time I'm looking at the show notes. Kyle puts together the show notes. This is the first time I'm looking at the quarter by quarter breakdown. If you would have told me, I'd have said Ohio State lost the first quarter, but won the second, third, and fourth quarters. And looking at this, they tied the first quarter. I mean, obviously Michigan scored more points, right? Like it was 3-6. Okay. Obvious. But total yards exactly the same. Rush average, Michigan has an edge. Rush yards, Michigan has an edge. Pass yards, Ohio State has the edge. But Michigan still went 0 for 3 on third downs, even in the first quarter, which would have been their best quarter. Like I feel like anyone would have told you Michigan's best quarter was the first quarter in that game. Yards per play, they only had a slight edge over Ohio State. Ohio State had more plays. And really the key here and why Ohio State didn't get into some huge hole is what we've seen out of Ohio State for the past, I mean, not 12 games, the past 15 games. Red zone defense. That red zone defense was key. Both teams in the first half had 3 scores. The difference being is that Michigan settled for field goals all 3 times, and Ohio State got into the end zone twice. That was the key through the first half. In-game coaching.
I gotta say A+ too. Yeah. Like they adjusted after those first two series, settled down there, and just let the defense really take over. But offensively, though, like, man, it was such a thing of beauty of how accurate and how precise Stan has been or was.
Yeah.
Since that interception. Like he went on a streak, like ridiculous, of completions and then converting third downs in a row too. Like he was just on top of it. And he got a couple sneaks in there as well too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
One of them wasn't great, but the other ones were.
In-game coaching.
it would have been so easy after that first drive where they got gashed a couple of times on, for big plays, and then 2 plays on offense, you throw an interception deep inside your own side of the field. It would have been really easy for the players, for the coaching staff to just start shitting their pants, to go, oh my God, here we go again. Oh my God, not this again. Oh my God, here we are. We're doing this again. Would have been really easy to just start spiraling.
Yeah.
But they didn't. And because everyone stayed calm, cool, collected, because everyone stayed on their task, they get an A+ for that alone. For that alone, they get an A+ for just not panicking.
All right, quarterbacks. Gosh, this is tough. Like I really want to give San. I really want to give San an A+, but I do just give him the A because he doesn't have that interception. It was a bad interception too.
Okay.
But since then, like he was really just really good. 19 for 26 for 233 and 3 touchdowns. On the road in a hostile environment against a really good defense. Like this is a really, really good defense. And he shredded them.
Yeah.
He absolutely shredded them.
I think it's really easy to lose sight of the fact that he is, in fact, a redshirt freshman. And one of the things I have praised about Julian Sayin from September on is how unbelievably poised he is for as young as he is. And that poise was on full display. He goes to the sideline. He talks to Ryan Day about what happened. He comes out for the second drive and goes, as Kyle pointed out, just a streak. I think there was a point, I want to say deep into the third quarter, where he had only missed 2 balls. He only had 2 incompletions since the first 2. He'd only had 2 since, and one of them was a throwaway. You have to remember he's a redshirt freshman. So for his poise and for not panicking and for all of that alone, I'm giving him an A+. And for just, let's throw away the first drive. I'll give him that. That's one of the best defenses he's played all year, if not the best defense he's played all year. One of the most hostile environment he had faced all year. He stumbled immediately and then just collected himself and went on and had an amazing football game.
Yeah. Here's the numbers for
first time he's played in the snow,
and then we'll go into
he's from California, so maybe in his life.
Yeah. So since the interception, first incompletion was a breakup. Like there was a really good defense thrown to Jeremiah Smith, and they got a hand on that. Great throw, but even better defense. And then second incompletion was to Max Clare. That one was the overthrow.
That was a throwaway. That wasn't an overthrow. Yeah. That wasn't even to Max Clare.
I'm thinking of the next one.
Away.
Yeah. The third incompletion was a drop by Max Clare. That was in the beginning of the third quarter.
Okay, I don't remember. I think that one was kind of a bad throw, if I remember.
The fourth one was incompletion.
It was technically goes down as a drop, but it was also a pretty bad throw.
Yeah. The fourth one was to Carnell Tate. I don't remember that one. That was late in the third quarter. With that really long drive. I don't remember that one. And then his last pass was to Kakamaric. And I think that one was a throwaway as well too.
Was that one thrown out of the back of the end zone? If I'm remembering correctly. Spikes says yes. Yeah,
because this was a third and fourth. It was. Yeah, that was right before the field goal. Yeah, so
that was also
maybe just one bad pass, and that's it since the interception. Yeah, that's awesome.
2. The first miss in the third quarter to Claire was a bad pass, and obviously the interception was a bad read, which is a bad pass.
Only 2 bad passes in 26 attempts. Yeah.
I mean, at some point we have to grade him on a scale. I am grading him on a scale. He's a redshirt freshman. who
right,
was facing a lot of really hard firsts.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
He is historically one of the most accurate passers in college football. Yeah. And he was playing a great defense in a hostile environment in bad weather and is 2 years out of high school. I am grading him on a scale. I'm grading him on an appropriate scale.
All right. Run blocking. This is the best Ohio State has run against.
I'm answering this for everybody.
Against Michigan since the 22 game.
I'm answering this for everybody. If you want to take a peek at the screen, A+++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++ satisfying considering, this is an A+ performance. Ohio State Ryan Day was gaming Michigan for the past few weeks. We saw like nothing new or innovative out of the running game for weeks. And then all of a sudden we saw a bunch of, maybe not new exactly, but we saw some run concepts we hadn't seen in a long time from Ohio State. They've been hiding stuff from Michigan probably since Illinois or Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
They've been running vanilla, especially on the run offense. They've been running vanilla for a month. And you know what? I'm cool with that.
186 yards. You know, if you told me that Ohio State was going to run the ball 47 times,
right?
Well, I'll just say 46. I'm not counting the kneel. 46 times. I would have been like, is this a blowout? Is this game a blowout then?
I mean, it was. It was a blowout. I don't care if it was only 27-9. Michigan only had the ball. What was the TOP in the second half? Do we have just
23 40 to 620?
23-40 to 620 in the second half. Ohio State, out of 30 minutes, had
like
the
three
ball
quarters of the time.
23 minutes and 40 of those seconds. That's a blowout. I don't care what the final score says. That's a blowout. 20 minutes, Austin, almost 21.
Yeah.
Almost 21.
I want to get to the pass blocking, but we do have to take our first ad break real quick, Jared.
Do it.
All right. TheSloopcast.com is your link for anything and everything Sloopcast related. If you have not checked our site recently, head on over to TheSloopcast.com.
It's a brand new
redesigned there.
Sloopcast.com.
Yeah. Redesigned there, and you can find easily all of the links to anything you want that is Sloopcast related. YouTube page, the Patreon page, 7071, our merch store, anything and everything Sloopcast related over at the Sloopcast.com. Take that ad break and be right back.
Not sponsored, but Brothers Drake Meadery of Columbus, Ohio. That's a free shout out in case if y'all want to pay us for future shout outs, just let me know.
All right. Pass block. Might as well just take that run block there, just copy and paste that right into pass blocking.
I hear what you're saying. It's easier for me to do this, but did he have on the books any pressures? Forget knockdowns, forget sacks. I saw someone somewhere say 0 pressures.
1. According to the stat, it's 1.
I've seen 1 and I've seen 0.
Quarterback hurry. 1 quarterback hurry, 1 pass breakup. And that pass breakup was the one I told you about where to Jeremiah. And it was going to be a catch to Jeremiah Smith, but defender got his hand in there. It was Zeke Berry got his hand in there.
The first pass to Carnell Tate to pass breakup as well. I mean, maybe it wasn't statistically, but it probably should have been. I would say
maybe it should have been. Yeah.
Yeah. But that has nothing to do with the pass rush or pass blocking.
Yeah.
But I only personally remember one time I felt like that Julian Sand was rushed, and it turns out it was a screen pass. I was like, they're going to get to him. And then I saw all the offensive linemen drifting out to the sideline. And I was like, They're doing that.
Good call.
Yeah, good job.
All right. Running. Let's move on straight to the
one
running
hurried
backs
throw
here.
was on a missed block assignment by Sayan. The OL never missed the block. Pass blocking isn't just the offensive line, but I hear you, Austin. Like that also counts in my opinion, but it worked out. I mean, Sayan didn't identify it. Sayan is a pass blocker. If he's making line calls, he's a pass blocker. And that's how I grade it, at least.
According to this, the quarterback hurry was in the fourth quarter during that long 20-play drive. Okay. It was a pass incomplete to Will Kakamerick.
The throwaway.
Yeah, it was the throwaway.
Which is maybe why he threw it away. Okay, I don't specifically remember the pass rush on that play, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yeah. All right, running backs. Bo Jackson, 117 yards and over 5 yards a pop against one of the best rush defenses that Ohio State has faced. A+ from Bo. And honestly, a lot of people were giving CJ Donaldson crap at the start, but he finished strong at the end too. He had a rough start going on with trying to get into the end zone,
right?
In that first quarter there, but he finished strong. I was really impressed with what I saw from CJ as the game went along there. But running backs, yeah, I'm going to say A+. They did exceptionally well, and it helped that the offensive line was just forming such big holes for them to run through.
Yeah, it's hard to separate the two, but
it is.
Yeah. But yeah, right. I'm feeling good, so we're going to go A+.
Yeah, and receivers there. Yeah, it's so great seeing 4 and 17 back on the field together again. And what a difference is that. And your three starting wide receivers each get a touchdown as well in this game. I gotta say an A. I'll give a solid A.
Not only that, but add an additional 49 yards for Bo Jackson on 4 receptions. He made some incredible plays when, just what could have been or should have been just some simple little dump offs. He made really good plays out of. Brennan Ennis gets a touchdown. Max Clare, I think, had a couple key plays. Yeah. As far as receiving goes, I mean, listen, you got I'm not going to give them the plus. I'm going to say I'm not going to give them the plus. But
I'll say an A. Yeah.
I think they do get the A.
Mm-hmm. All right, drives and conversions. Ohio State went on a tear.
20 plays. What? 20 plays, 12 minutes.
Yeah, because of that drive, I got to give the A+. I honestly give the A+ there. I really do. But when I look, Jared, at the let me do some quick math there. 5, 8. They were 8 for 11 going into the fourth quarter on third downs.
Yeah.
8 for 11. And then if you want to count that, they converted 1 fourth down, 9 for 11 on third/fourth downs through 3 quarters. That is insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. And then they finished the game 10 for 17. But yeah, A+.
Again, second half, they held the ball for 23 minutes and 40 seconds out of a possible 30.
Yeah.
A++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++
They had a lot of explosive plays, Jared. They had a lot. They had four on
Spikes,
the rushing.
Spikes is going hard. goal line field goal on the first drive with like 7 downs from the 4 was annoying. I agree.
I agree.
But like, again, 20 minutes and 40 seconds of possession in the second half.
All right, explosiveness for the offense. They had
this is where the wide receivers really came into play here.
Four big pass plays and 4 big rush plays as well too. Now two of those passing plays ended up for touchdowns. One to Jeremiah, one to Carnell Tate. I really like. I'll stick with an A overall. Ohio State has definitely had a lot more explosive plays overall, but again, they playing a lot better defense in here,
right.
So I feel comfortable of just giving a solid A. Exceptional work, got the big plays that they could not get last year, and that was that really set up the rest of the game, set up the rushing attack as the game went along, really opened things up as they were able to get those big chunk yards. So I'll say an A.
I'm going to go plus on this. Bo Jackson had a 36-yard rip. Carnell Tate had a 50-yard, just made it look too easy, 50-yard touchdown. Jeremiah Smith, and I don't want to hear it. One, Ohio State destroyed Michigan. This game wasn't close. I don't want to hear it. But also, he bobbled the ball after he had possession. Okay. When has a bobble ever been a fumble? Go find me one instance in the history of football where someone bobbling the ball went into the record books as a fumble. I may have said interception or incompletion.
And the ball never touched the ball
never touches the ground. He never actually loses possession. Oh, he bobbled it. Cool. Show me one instance ever in the history of football in which someone going whoop, 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 whoop with the ball for a moment went into the record books as an interception, or excuse me, as a fumble. Find me that one instance and then I'll entertain the conversation. But until you find me that one instance, go fuck yourself. I'm going to give him a plus.
All right, moving on. Defense, Jared. 9 points given up, 0 touchdowns. Zero touchdowns. First time Michigan did not score a touchdown in this game since 2007 when Ohio State won 14-3 in Ann Arbor. Game plan wise, honestly, it was just trying to stop the run. That was the big thing. Got to stop Michigan's rushing attack. Started off a little flaky there, especially the first play there, and then the second drive they got another chunk play too.
The first quarter they averaged 7.5 per carry on the ground. They got 75 yards rushing off of 10 carries in the first quarter alone.
Yeah. Yep. 7.5 in the first quarter. Then it went down to 3.7 in the second quarter.
It started to go down.
Then it went to 0 in the third quarter. Then it went to -8, which it was a sack. So it's a little misleading. But in the stats here, -8 rushing yards per attempt in the fourth quarter.
Therefore, I'll give them just an A on the game plan.
Yeah.
However,
I was thinking the same.
However,
in-game coaching A+. Yes. I was about
not just A+, Kyle. I'm doing the thing. I'm doing the thing. Watch me do the thing. There, I did the thing. A++++++++.
We are, Jared. We are. I know that some Buckeye fans are like, la la la, don't say it, la la la, don't want to hear it, don't jinx it. We are, Jared, are on the cusp of seeing one of the most dominant defenses college football has ever seen. We are on the cusp of seeing it.
Hold on. I'm making the cameras bigger for a moment. I said this during Know Your Enemy. We don't play scared and we don't believe in jinxes. This is the attitude. that you must carry forward as an Ohio State fan. Playing scared, believing in jinxes, all that bullshit is how you get into the mentality that causes you to lose to Michigan. Carrying yourself with confidence and playing as if you are the winner that you are is how you defeat Michigan. We don't believe in jinxes and we don't play scared. This is the attitude. Tackling.
There was some missed tacklings in the first quarter. There,
Against very talented guys.
Yeah, Marshall was very talented, very talented running back.
Underwood caused some missed tackles as well, or ran through some arm tackles that, with his shiftiness, he turned into arm tackles.
Honestly, if you take the sack out, Jared, he was just 5 attempts for 9 yards.
Right.
They held him in check when it came to trying to break one there, but you're not outrunning Arvell Reese at all.
No, by the way, he got 7 of those 1 yards. He got 7 of them on one play.
Yeah. So tackling, I'll say an A.
I agree. I'm good with the standard A.
Okay. Run stop. Listen,
the first quarter is the first quarter. We can't give him the plus.
Yes.
We can't give them the plus because of the first quarter, but we can give them the A despite the first quarter. That's my opinion.
Agreed. They had 24 rushes for 100 yards, even for 4.2 yards per rush. That's still a lot of yards per run, but this Michigan team, as we talked about in our Know Your Enemy last week, their offensive line makes guys really pushes the defensive line, and didn't matter who they put in running back, they were able to get yards. Yeah. And Ohio State was able to keep them in check.
And even then, it's easy to say, oh, but they ran for -8 yards in the second half, which is true. But as Kyle pointed out,
they didn't rush it for any.
A lot of that negative yardage was due to sacks. And they only attempted to rush the ball 5 times in the second half because A, they didn't have the ball basically at all in the second half. And B, when they did, they were desperately far behind and had to throw the ball. So
Ohio State ran 40 plays in the second half, and Michigan had 18 plays.
The second half was disgusting. Disgusting in the best possible ways.
Yeah.
Disgusting the way a battlefield is. I don't want to say that, but you know what I'm saying.
Pass rush here. I felt like Ohio State didn't really have to rush, didn't really have to send many guys in because they were trying to really just stop the run. So they didn't really do a lot of pressure. They had the one sack that came in the fourth quarter. A lot of containment there. So I'll say the pass rush. I'll say an A-. I'll say an A- there. But that's just my expectations from this defensive line and how well they've played throughout the year. But and maybe a lot of it has to do with just the scheme that Ohio State was trying to do. But you didn't really see much pressure when it came to passing plays here. You didn't see Ohio State really get to the quarterback quickly, but to Jared's point, they were playing contain pretty much most of the game, keep everything in front of them.
They were playing contain. When they did blitz, as Spikes points out in the chat, when they did decide to go after Underwood, they blew up the play. Yeah. They were playing a lot of contain. They didn't blitz him a ton because they just wanted him to make decisions, and they also wanted to maintain the rushing lanes. The goal was to stop the rush more than it was to get after the pass. So I'm comfortable with an A because the pass rush was there when they allowed it to be there. Pass coverage. Kyle,
Pass coverage was
how many
exceptional.
How many times did their freshman phenom wide receiver Marsh catch the ball?
0.
Oh.
I got an even better stat, Jared. Not only that, there was 0 attempts. Yeah, he was never targeted. Yes.
But wait, there's more. Yeah. They didn't even, well, Underwood didn't even try to go to him.
No.
I understand. I understand that no one of any
coverage.
level of seriousness was saying this, but the Michigan trolls were like, "Oh, Marsh is better than blah 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 blah." I can't even finish the sentence. But you know, troll's gonna troll, I suppose. Marsh is a fine receiver, and I think he'll be a fine receiver. But he wasn't on Saturday.
Their wide receivers combined for 3 receptions in this game.
How many pass interferences did Ohio State have in this game? Because I think that was.
I think it was 2. Let me look at the penalties real quick here. 2.
I wouldn't say one was BS.
Yeah, one was BS.
I will not say one was BS. However, I will say that the one that you guys are calling BS, I've seen much worse done to both Tate and Smith this year, not called. I'll say that.
That ball went into the first row on the sideline.
Listen, I understand. Don't say exactly, Spikes. He was reading your message.
I didn't actually, but
I'll say this. When you're not allowed to come back on a comeback, it's going to make it look like the ball was totally missed. That's, and again, I'm not saying, I am saying that I have seen much worse done to Smith and Tate not called this year. But by the letter of the law, that was pass interference on Matthews.
Mm-hmm.
And it was definitely one on Iggy, but I don't think anyone's disputing that.
No.
By the way,
right.
I'm sorry, real quick. This is a total aside. This is absolutely total aside. How the hell do you headbutt a referee in the nose and not get kicked from the game? Since we're talking about penalties. How do you headbutt a referee with your helmet to his nose and not get ejected?
On purpose.
It was not an accident. I don't think anyone's saying it was. If anyone's saying it's an accident, just move on from that person. They aren't serious. The ref said it wasn't egregious enough. I've seen the still frame of his nose not existing anymore because it was pushed into the cavity in his skull.
Let's move on to impact plays, Jared.
I want to talk about the impact play on the referee's nose.
Well, we are talking. Oh, too funny. Dude. What do you get for the impact plays?
Shit. I don't know. We're having fun right now. There weren't a lot of sacks. What were the TFLs? Not a lot of TFLs.
3.
Not a lot of pass
only
breakups.
2.
Like, statistically speaking, not a great day on the impact plays.
Yeah.
There was an interception
TFLs
to seal the game, but the game was already sealed. I mean, at least it was targeting. Thank you, Spikes. There was forcible contact to the head. If that's not targeting, I don't know what is. He didn't lead with the crown. He did not lead with the crown. But it was forcible contact to the head of a defenseless referee. Impact plays, I mean, it's hard to put up a ton of stats. It's hard to put up a ton of stats when you literally just aren't on the field that much. Is the real answer to that question.
I'm not going to take any points away. So I'll just leave an A.
I'll put an A-, but whatever.
Sure. And stops. Jared, without looking at the notes, unless you already know the answer.
I kind of already know the answer if you're going to ask what I think you're going to ask.
Yeah. What's the third down conversions for Michigan?
They were like 1 for a lot.
They were 11% on third downs.
Well, what was the actual number? Because was it like 1 for...
1 for 9.
1 for 9. Okay. I knew it was 1 for a bunch of numbers.
0 for 1 on fourth downs as well.
Right.
A+.
A+.
All the way across.
Yeah, you're right. Let's do that. Also, if we're talking stops, we also have to talk about 0 touchdowns, 3 forced field goals, especially when they were put completely on their heels after the interception.
Those first 2 possessions.
That was what saved the game from feeling like it could have gotten out of control. They march down the field. Michigan marches down the field. You stop them to a field goal. Okay. Good, bad. Okay, but you saved it. Like, it started bad, but you saved it. Then incompletion, interception. Michigan starts in the red zone, and Ohio State, was it a 3-and-out? I think it was a 3-and-out. Was it not? Forces Michigan to kick the field goal. Austin says yes, it was a 3-and-out. So you force him to kick the field goal.
It wasn't. It was a 7-yard run. It wasn't in the red zone because it started off at the 39, 7-yard run, 21-yard run, then a 2-yard, then an incompletion.
And then they kicked it. That was the second drive?
Yeah.
Okay. So the second drive, you still stop them in the red zone, force the field goal. There you go. I mean, that's all it takes. Yeah. That was maybe the key to the game. If we're talking about the key series of the game, going down 6-0 instead of 10-0 is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Psychologically, if nothing else.
And don't break. I get A+ as well too. You only let what?
They ripped a couple big runs. Jordan Marshall only carried the ball 7 times and got 61 yards. Kudzel had a 22-yard run. Marshall's long was 36. Marshall averaged 87. I can't give him a plus.
Marshall 36, then 2, then 21, then 2, then 0, then 2, then -2.
But he only had 7 carries and 2 of them went over 20 yards. And Kudzel, who's a walk-on, he's fine. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to shit on the guy. He's a fine football player. But he ripped Ohio State for 22 yards at one point.
Yeah, and his was 5-2, 4, 5, 22, 2, 2, 1, -5, 0, 0.
Sure. So, like, they're doing great on the stops. But if we're talking don't break, they allowed 3 big runs. I can't give them the plus on that. I'll give them the A, don't get me wrong, because, like, in the passing game, the longest pass was 26 yards? That's fine. Mm-hmm. When the second longest, I believe the second longest was 10, which was also Jordan Marshall. Yeah, so they did a great job in the passing game as far as don't break, but they allowed too many big runs early for me to give them an A+ in don't break.
I mean, I could change.
We're still going to do an A.
I was also say A+. Even like I can say this. Yes, you can say yes. They had 3 big runs that went for 20 plus yards, but I look at it too. It's like, well, they only had 3 rushing plays, Jared, that were 6 yards or more.
That's valid. I mean, you're valid. Difference of opinion. Again, I'm not trashing them. I'm still giving them an A. For the record, I'm still giving them an A. And Spikes is agreeing with you. He's going with an A+.
Yep. All right. We got to take our second ad break real quick, and then we'll give our overall thoughts of the team. Again, thesloopcast.com, your go-to link for anything and everything Sloopcast related. If you haven't checked out our merch store recently, head on over there. We got some new designs there, some new designs that Jared has created and uploaded for you to, for Christmas time. Yeah, there is there's different sales going on for over at TeePublic right now. And I know there's one just ending as we're recording here, but they're going to have more as the holiday season comes along. So check that out. Again, thesloopcast.com. Click on the merch one, or merch.thesloopcast.com. And that'll bring you there right there as well. You can find that and other great links over at thesloopcast.com. Let's take that ad break and be right back.
Also, shout out to Spikes down in the chat. Once again, I know we said this on our last episodes, for upping his Patreon contribution. Spikes, you are appreciated. Overall, we're all, Kyle, it's Ohio State, Michigan. I'm not upset at the fact that it felt like the week to do it, especially since it's called the Beat Michigan tier, right? Hey, you know what? Actually, Spikes might be the MVP. Just saying. All right. But okay, we're super over on time. Let's hit these quickly.
All right. In-game coaching, A+ all the way across. All the way across.
Again, what I said during the in-game coaching of the offense, and again, I mean, we gave the in-game coaching for the defense A+ all the way across. You know, it was a rough first quarter, or at least a first eighth. The first eighth was bad. Stayed poised, didn't panic. I almost said the horseshoe. The big house was rocking. Stayed composed, did what needed to be done.
Yeah. Motivation. Same thing.
Yeah.
Just copy and paste. Copy and paste that. There.
No lack of motivation or effort in this one whatsoever.
Yeah. And execution, I'll back off and just say a solid A on the execution side.
I'm going to go A+. I mean, we're not going to do A+ all the way across, but I will say, I will still say A+ here. Spikes is going to go with you, however, and say A.
Yeah. All right. Discipline, Jared.
Discipline. Okay. Okay. I'm going to write hate, and we're going to move on. Okay.
lot of unsportsmanlike conduct.
We're not talking about it. We're not talking about it. We're moving on.
The offense only had one penalty, Jared. The offense only had one penalty.
Good job, offense. Was that one penalty or one enforced penalty?
Well, they had two penalties. One was enforced. They had a false start. Which was the 4th and 1 at the 1, and then there was that false start, and then that forced Ohio State to kick the field goal. All right, special teams. Fielding was 2 for 2 on
good enough for me.
Field goals, and Joe McGuire had himself a pretty good game, pretty good punting as well too.
Teton was trying to get them to commit personal fouls and get ejected, and they didn't take the bait. They kind of took the bait.
They did. There was a few.
They didn't escalate to the point. All right, sorry. I'm gonna stop for a second.
Yeah.
We're going full screen again. I know we're over, but it's Michigan week. Who cares? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say two things that might sound contradictory. They aren't. I appreciate that some of the players wanted to take some flags to the 50-yard line, and I appreciate that Ryan Day stopped them. I appreciate both of these things. I think the players had maybe not right. I don't mind some of the players wanting to take some flags to the 50-yard line. I don't.
the players that went to the 50-yard line
are exactly
were the
who
players
we expected
were going to be.
Exactly who we expected who would do it. I'll say that. And also, I appreciate Ryan Day for actually taking control of his team and getting them to the locker room and to the section where the fans were in the big house.
Did you see what happened before that happened?
Him talking to Sharon Moore, trying to stop a fight from happening.
That's a leader right there, just saying, hey, like,
win with humility and all of that.
Yeah, like, hey, you guys need to go. We don't want things to escalate. I will make sure no flags come here. Yeah. And so more respectfully accepted that then. And Ryan Day was like, screw you. Hey guys, come on over.
That would have been great. No, it wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been great. It wouldn't have been great if Ryan Day did that. It would have been great if one of the players sort of broke containment and did it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, A+. The defense or the special teams didn't cost
only
them the
bad
game,
things for us would
6
come out of a fight from midfield. You're absolutely right, Spikes. Which is why Ryan Day did the right thing. But also I appreciate the players who felt the need to take revenge. I also appreciate them.
Brandon Ennis looked good returning punts too.
Yeah. Ennis looked really
A+.
Ennis looked really has really looked good the second half of the year. I understand he's kind of in a like a Williams situation where he's behind two great wide receivers and he's not getting a ton of attention or a ton of touches as a result. And that's tough, I'm sure. But he's making great use of the touches he is getting. And this is just me giving Brendan Ennis his love and his respect that he absolutely deserves.
Yeah. A+ for me too. All right. Turnovers. Each team with one turnover.
Ohio State's was worse.
Ohio State's was worse because it led to 3 points.
The game was already over when Michigan did theirs.
Yeah. I'll say a C.
I'm doing a D.
Okay.
The only reason I don't do an F is because it was, I'm going to do a D+. It was only one turnover and they bounced back great from it. So I'll say that.
Okay. All right. Overall, for the offense overall grading. 419 yards against this Michigan defense and rushed for 186 yards also.
Bad first drive. Everything after that was gravy.
A+. Yeah, A+. And I'm still sticking to it, Jared. I know that you're like, you said in the Know Your Enemy, oh, it doesn't matter. Ohio State
what did I say
won. Ohio State won on the ground. Like the team that wins the rushing battle wins the game. And they have since the 2000 game.
You motherfucker. Listen to me. What I said during Know Your Enemy, also applies. I said that whoever has the most rushing yards wins is self-fulfilling, which is why Ohio State, who was leading in the second half, ran the ball 31 times, and Michigan, who was losing in the second half, only ran the ball 5 times. Is it that whoever runs the best wins, or is it whoever wins runs the best? I'm just saying, as I was saying last week, you cannot confuse results and statistics like that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I said last week. That's all I'm saying now.
All right.
That's why that stat happened. See, Spikes is on my side this time.
All right, and defense, I got to give it A+ too. 0 touchdowns. Again, first time since 2007. So the first time in 18 years that Michigan did not score a touchdown in this game here. And only allowed Michigan in the red zone once. All game. Yeah, A+.
Yeah, A+. First quarter, can't give them the pluses all across, but I'm still going to give them the plus.
Yeah.
Overall,
and
What was this? Break a streak of too long to mention. You win the game. You beat your rival. You finish the season. We're going to pluses. You finish the season, the regular season, undefeated. We're going pluses all the way across the board on this one. Yeah. You defeated Michigan. You completed a perfect regular season. There's no discussion here. There's no debate here. It is A pluses all the way across.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And that, Kyle, is our report card.
All is well in this world.
Listen, I do really want to beat Indiana. And I do really, because Ohio State has not won the Big Ten in a while. It's been a while.
Since 2020.
That's not acceptable.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So you got to go to Indianapolis. You got to take care of business. Anything after that, however, is just powdered sugar on the donut. That's just turkey on the gravy. It's great. I love it. It's not needed. The goal of this year was number 1, beat Michigan, and number 2, win the Big Ten. Anything that happens after that, I want to win the national title. I want to go back to back. It doesn't happen very often. Don't get me wrong. When was the last time has Ohio State ever won back-to-back national titles? If it ever happened, you'd have to go back to Woody Hayes days. And did Woody Hayes do it? Kyle, can you look it up real quick. I don't know if Ohio State's ever done that. And they're certainly poised to do. They have not. Kyle is shaking his head. Ohio State has never won that.
It was 70 and 68. Was like the closest ones. Yeah. And then they had like early on, like 54, 57, 61. They just went on a streak there.
And wasn't 68 the questionable one? Like, isn't the 68 the one that's kind of iffy? If I remember correctly, it doesn't matter. We don't need to talk about that right now.
They were 10-0. They were 10-0 that year,
including the bowl game. Or was that the year they lost to USC in the Rose Bowl?
No, they beat USC in that one.
Okay, never mind. That's not the one then. There is one Ohio State national title claim that is a little questionable. That's not it, apparently. Point is, Ohio State has apparently never won a back-to-back national title. I want that. I want that a lot. Yes, Spikes. They would have had fed Zeke in 2015 against Sparty. Maybe at least you get in the playoff and you get a chance. At least you get a chance. That team, quite frankly, that team was not all there from a motivation standpoint all year, for being honest. I don't know if they would have run the playoffs. They had the talent to do it. I don't know if they had the drive to do it, but that's a different conversation for a different day. This team has the drive to do it. This team has the talent to do it. This team can do it. But I'm giving this entire season A pluses across the board if they beat Indiana, no matter what happens after that. They get an A plus for the season just for the regular season. This is an A plus season. I'm giving them A pluses across the board if they beat Indiana next week. Anything after that, awesome, great, cool. But I want to beat Michigan, and I want to win the Big Ten, and one of those is accomplished. Those were the goals for this year. National championship would be nice. And I firmly believe Ohio State's the best team in the country right now.
Yep.
I firmly believe that. So that's not
100%.
me saying I don't care about the playoffs or I don't care about the national title, because believe me, I do.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really do. But I'm on, and this isn't like coach speak, right? This isn't like, oh, well, we're just worried about the next game. Right now, we're just worried about winning the Big Ten title and whatever happens in the play. This isn't me coach speaking. I don't coach speak. I don't talk scared. I will tell you exactly how I feel. And exactly how I feel right now is I truly only give a fuck about the Big Ten right now.
Mm-hmm. They open As a 5.5 point favorite.
5.5, really?
5.5.
I was expecting more.
All right.
So, Kyle, early preview to our Thursday episode. Or I guess our Wednesday episode. That is not enough.
All right.
I'm taking... Guy, isn't that one of our rules? Isn't one of our Sloopcast rules if you have a chance to take Ohio State or Bama, and we might need to adjust that with Saban retired. If you get a chance to take Ohio State or Bama as less than a touchdown favorite, you take it every time?
I think so.
That. I'm taking that. The Indiana blows. Indiana blows. All right.
All right. Anything else, Jared?
I'm asking you that. Anything in Kyle's corner?
Shout out to the man, to the mascot himself.
Listen, we
Brutus
didn't
Buckeye.
We didn't plant the flag at midfield, but we got this.
Shout out to Brutus, who spent more time in the end zone than Michigan has all game.
How have I not heard that yet?
Shout out to Brutus.
Oh my God.
Right, Script, Ohio, right outside the end zone.
You know what's fantastic about this?
And of course, crosses out the M in the end zone as well too. Just pure cinema there, Jared.
Cinema. You know what's fantastic about this? More than anything else. I mean, more than just
everything about it.
More than just the end.
About it.
More than, okay. So once again, we're talking about powdered sugar on the donut, right? We're talking about gravy on the turkey. Okay, sorry to like bust everyone's illusions of Brutus Buckeye, but if you don't already know this, that's one of the male cheerleaders. The male cheerleaders take their turns being Brutus. If you don't already know that, that's the man behind the mask. He's not one of the band guys.
No, he's not.
He practiced this. No one just knows how to do this. Especially since, the vision through the head can't be fantastic. He didn't just do this. This was practiced. They saw snow in the forecast and they prepared for this. And the execution, since we're doing Scarlet and grade, A+ across the board.
I didn't come up with this, but I thought it was perfect. Great footsmanship by Brutus there. It was really well done.
Incredible. This was practiced. There's zero chance in hell. All due respect to the man in the mask. All due respect. There's zero chance in hell he just winged this. Someone came up with this idea and they practiced it. And I love them for it.
Yeah.
I love them for it. And it's too much to fit in the little Discord sticker. Discord stickers have to be 512K, which is, as far as GIFs are concerned, is nothing. This clip goes on to show a Michigan, I don't know, security field person, I don't know, panically swiping it away. It's unfortunate. It's too long to make it into the video, but just panic. I've not seen a grounds person do that much panic work since the Big Ten title game.
Yes. Try to fill in the pebbles in there.
Since the field in Indianapolis got damaged.
All right. That's it. Shout out to Brutus Buckeye.
I didn't prepare music for today, so I guess we did 2 Cow Garage. We did 2 Cow Garage last week. We're going to keep doing 2 Cow Garage because, hey, why not? So with all that being said, I'd like to encourage everyone to drink local music. Listen, I said drink local music. Hold on. I'm going to have another glass real quick. listen to local music, drink local beer, and of course, I can't do it. We're going to listen to local music, drink local beer, and of course, support your local podcasters. Once again, this is 2 Cow Garage.